Every single empire throughout time believed in something, believed in a purpose. A people would rise up, along with that, their beliefs. Then they would crumble to dust and new kingdoms would rise up, along with that, their beliefs, their social structures, most importantly, a new purpose. Now we've summed that up to nonsense, and you're told to live your life how you want to. And it sounds good. The only problem? It doesn't work. You will drive your life into the ground and then at the end realize it was worthless. Every single person who believed in a false purpose or didn't even have a purpose at all died with regret in the heart, awaiting the subtle whisper of death that would come and consume them. So you have to ask the question, where does this longing for purpose come from? Most importantly, what is the true purpose of humanity? Today, we are diving in to what the true purpose of humanity is. Now, of course, we'll be looking at it through the lens of what the word says and where humanity started, Genesis. At the beginning of Genesis, we see the story of creation, the story of how God created a people to rule on the earth, reflecting Him in every way, and to live on for thousands of years, never ending. But of course, that's not how it went. Very early on, we see darkness creep in, not in a huge monstrous form, but in a very small deceptive way with words. Satan comes and tells them that they should eat the fruit that God told them not to eat because they will become like God and obtain knowledge that God doesn't want them to have. Now, at this point, most people just look at the fact that they're not supposed to eat the fruit and then end up eating the fruit.
What?
What's actually happening is Satan is deceiving them of who they actually are. You see, right here, there's two opposite statements. God says they were made in the image of Him. They were just like Him, so they didn't need anything. But Satan says something different. He tells them that they need to become like God, and he's having them forget what God said, having them forget their identity. So at this point, they eat the fruit, and at that moment, corruption took place. First in them, where everything God created them to be died, no longer like God. Then in the animals and the earth. And all the way from that point till now, you see the effects of their sin every single day. So once again, I ask the question, what is the purpose of humanity? Well, we see in Genesis, the purpose of humanity is to live on the earth, growing and being in a relationship with God, the Creator. But in all honesty, what does it actually matter if that purpose was destroyed? Well, it wouldn't matter if it wasn't for what happened after this. Before they have to leave the garden, God gives them a promise of someone to come and save them, to destroy Satan and bring them back to God. This promise was the Messiah. The years between them leaving the garden and up until the flood are interesting because we see the growth of humanity, but not as it should have been. Instead, it's corrupt and nobody follows God and does what they want. Not only that, but we also see where the giants come in. The Nephilim, also called the giants, were actually one of the main reasons the flood came. Now, we'll go into them later in another video, but we're told that the giants were eating humans. On top of that, you have all the sin that man has caused. Now, among all these people, there was a person who did fault God, that being Noah. Noah was instructed by God to create an ark to save all the creatures on the earth and whoever would come to save them from the flood that would come to destroy all the evil that was present on the earth. So time passes and Noah builds the ark. No one believes him, but the rain comes. And at this point, rain had never been on the earth. And so when the flood comes, they go in the ark and everybody on the planet dies. You see, the fall of man wasn't intended. It was never even intended for the world to be so corrupt after this. But you have to look deeper than that. You have to look at what God did in spite of that. We see the fall of man, then we see a promise of someone to come and save them. Because frankly, we couldn't save ourselves. We would all fail and fail again. And we try to find a purpose again and again, not realizing who gives us the purpose. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to go to the channel and subscribe so you can stay updated on all the new videos I want to be posting soon. I plan on continuing this series all the way up until Revelation, where Jesus comes back. And we'll go into the more mystical sides of the Bible too, talking about giants. But with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.